my sister, they are doing their job. So for them, they are doing their job. So the only thing is, the way they harass some of us on the road is very, very bad. Because at times, they will just come to where we're supposed to park. We know that parking on the road at times is very, very bad. We clear where to park, but at times they still come and meet us there and give us the harassment. And you can look at this country, there is no job in this country. This is the only way we find ourselves now. So, but we don't blame them because they think they are doing their job. So we have to endure with them. So we don't have anything to say more than this, my sister.
Because they are disturbed too much.
Why did they disturb traffic?
Traffic in the morning. If you are going out now, you see traffic from area 1 here to Apple Bridge.
Personally, I think that VIO, they are doing their job, but the way they stand in the traffic light, they create go slow a lot. Like today in area 1, we have a lot of go slow in area 1 roundabout, a lot. So I think that they should regulate them.
Well, my guest today on Dateline Abuja is Prince Ache Julius Ogu. He is the CEO, Road Accident Prevention Network Center, and a road expert. Thank you so much for being part of us today.
I'm happy to be in your studio today.
Well, discussing the relevance of VIO, before we went on air, we've been talking about the relevance of the VIO within the FCT. As a road expert, what do you think the roles and the duties of the VIO are within the FCT?
Definitely, their roles are enormous and very important to the standardization of vehicles and making sure that all vehicles complies, with the rules and regulations of the FCT, conforming to the standards of the rules and the rules. But that notwithstanding, they are also there to make sure that traffics are being obeyed and in accordance to the law too. But we cannot rule out the complaint from the public on their mode of operations, leading to traffic delays and all that, wrong positioning within the FCT and other complaints, here and there. But I believe there are issues that can be addressed if closely looked into. Okay,
so first thing, they're saying their work is to check ensure
that the vehicles are worthy to be on the road.
One.
Up to date standard in compliance with the rules and regulations.
Okay.
And I think the issue of plate numbers.
Yes.
And driver's license being manufactured by the road safety and the rest, because they are domiciled.
So they work together with the
in synergy with the road safety to ensure that the plate numbers, developed, produced, or whatever from the road safety are given to the FCT indigenous.
Okay.
At the council level.
Okay. Okay, so these are the two major objectives.
Those are the two major objectives, as far as I'm concerned. Others might be there anyway.
Okay. Well, so we have before we chose this particular topic, we've been having a lot of reports, and I personally have witnessed it, how the VIO actually cause traffic instead of helping. Like you say, the work in synergy with the road safety, and maybe of course the police, because I'm sure in recovery of vehicles, you also said that earlier on. And then they're supposed to be helping reduce the traffic. You see them actually causing the traffic. Do you want me to explain further on my question, or you understand what I'm saying?
No, I understand what you're saying.
Okay.
Based on wrong positioning, at times they might obstruct free flow of traffic.
Is this appropriate?
It's not appropriate. That is why that need to be redefined. The operation need to be redefined in line with the operations of the international standard of vehicular movements. Because this is the Federal Capital Territory, and if you want to have a free flow of traffic, especially in the morning when people are going to work, they need to be positioned in the proper places.
Do you think is it appropriate to be checking vehicle particulars in the morning when people are going to work? Do you think that's a proper timing? Especially when you see
it's a proper time.
When you see cars coming from, cars rushing to work.
I don't think it's a proper time, because when people are going to work in the morning, it's a rush hour. And when they are closing. And so what I say they need to redefine is that if there is any way they can go on their DBs to check and update vehicular particulars as they are expiring. You send alert to those people. The way it's done with other technological innovations like DSTV and the rest of them, when your subscription is about to expire, they send you an alert. You go and renew. If they need to go digital, because what is going on is an analog system, and
Obviously.
with an analog system in the FCT, I think it's going to be chaotic. It's going to chaotic traffic issues, and then even if in the case of emergency, when you are rushing the victim to the hospital, and then the VIO is there checking particulars, you get long queues and all that. I don't think it's appropriate.
Okay. Is it also appropriate for the VIO to actually stop and search vehicles on the express road because they do that?
No, this is actually, that is dangerous. Very, very dangerous, because to their personnel too, you don't have a barrier, you don't have a blockade. Somebody is coming on the highway, you are putting your life on the line. Anything can happen to you there. So I think the operators of these organizations need to go do more and see how they can restructure their operations and re-strategize, their policies. It's not something that will go to the National Assembly or whatever, because in the FCDA we don't have state assembly. So they need to speedily bring together stakeholders who can help them, in identifying ways and measures of overcoming these challenges so that they can operate more peacefully with the public. Because as it is now, they are always, anytime they come out, it's like both sides of the coin. Between them and
they
the public.
actually make life more difficult for people.
Definitely. That's the issue. We cannot rule out the fact that it's a revenue generating agency, I think so, to FCDA, because most of the fines and all that pays goes to, I think, the FCDA. But they should be able to update and use that fund to improve on their services.
Yes.
That is my view.
Okay.
They need to use that fund, whichever way it is. I don't know how it's been expended, but they need to update and work on it to improve on their services the way it will suit the people they are serving. That's the purpose of, I think, the organizations. Because I know some few states has, put a ban to VIO, but it has not solved the problem.
Kaduna and Lagos,
it has not solved the problem.
Do you think we should actually be looking into that in the FCT?
The states where they have been banned, the same problem has not been solved.
LASMA is working very well in Lagos.
LASMA is working good. LASMA is you are talking about Lagos. Lagos is a different city entirely. Lagos has a morandi of operations. And Lagos is well planned, and apart from that,
Abuja is also well planned.
No, you see, how old is Abuja? Some people tell you Abuja is an artificial city. Are you getting my point now?
Yes.
We left Lagos, came over to Abuja here to set up the what do you call it now? The capital territory. People are moved from all over to come here. Lagos is an ancestral land where people lived. The colonial were there. In short, there are documents and information that tells you how people move with bicycles on their lane during the colonial era. How car moves, how bikes moves, and the rest of them. It's not happening today. The point.
It's unfortunate they're not using the power of the internet.
No,
digitalization.
They definitely see Nigeria. I don't know how to describe it, but then we are coming up. And the world has gone nuclear when it comes to technology. It might not be rocket science and the rest of them. There are some devices now, what we call what do you call it now? ITF. It's a technological system. It's a technological innovations where devices are introduced to reduce road crashes and save lives. If somebody wants to sleep, there will be an alarm in the car. If you're over speeding, there's a sign you get and all that. These are technologies that are being introduced in Europe and other parts of the world. If somebody is supposed to pay a fine, his documents are updated. There are technologies you apply. You must not stop everybody at a point and start fighting with them physically. You have data of these people.
Yes.
These are Nigerians, and if you don't have the data, you take you take accurate data of FCD residents. First of all, where they live, how many people live in social estate, what are the type of cars that live there. You can use camera devices to do this, unknown to the residents, and then you choose a day to address these issues.
Okay, so your NGO, what exactly are you doing to help with this new technology?
No, definitely. We have been on for over 10 years in the area of advocacy, seminars and workshops. We have a program coming up like in October that is going to address the issue of road safety, technology innovations and the rest of them with our partners overseas and all that. So the major thing is advocacy. Let everybody know where he belongs, what he has to do at the right time. That is the point. The government agencies, the NGOs, the organized private sectors, the NDAs that involves government agencies, the private sectors like unions, the public and private as in the citizens, the general road users need to know their right from left. That's the point. Yeah. If you don't get those points, you end up having problem, indiscriminate shooting, this and that. You know, somebody might talk wrongly to a police officer who is maybe high in the night, working not with his normal mind, and they open fire. They say copper is dead and all that. We've seen it in the FCT.
So, I'm sure this is a very common question that is widely asked. Do you think there's a multiplication of duties between the road safety, the VIO, and police?
No, definitely, the masses will say so. But in the spirit of synergy, as far as I'm concerned, there's no multiplication. Duplication of duties.
So, do you think the VIO is relevant?
They are more relevant.
Why do you say so?
Yes, they are relevant because they are the state organ when it comes to the issue of road safety. At the state
road safety, you mean?
Road safety issues, anything that has to do with the road within the state.
The VIO or the road safety?
When you talk of road safety, you are talking about the road. I'm not talking about organization.
Okay.
I'm not talking about road safety and organization now.
I'm asking about the VIO now.
The VIO, their role is on the road. It's not in the air.
Yeah, but it's not with vehicles on the road.
The vehicles on the road. You getting the point now? The vehicles on the road. They have a lot of role to play within the FCT. Their jurisdiction is limited until maybe they say, okay, we want to have our own traffic agency, the way Lagos has last month. And that's going to take you time. Because you have a bunch of experienced people working in this area. All you need to do is to reorientate them.
Good, but we're coming there.
And then give them the concept to see how this issue can be handled. And then you need to synergize and live with non-governmental organizations. Okay. They need to be carried along. Because these are people who are closer to the people. These are people who are not afraid of taking decisions and coming out with their opinions. Because they don't rely on government for funds. They don't rely on anybody to operate. They are non-governmental. It's based on calling and passion that most of these works are done. Most NGOs in Nigeria don't have any links with any donor here or there. In short, if we have a donor today, the scrutiny and the policy and the principles of government for you to access funds is cumbersome. So people tend to do this for the purpose of saving lives.
That's for the NGOs now.
Yes.
Okay. What are your suggestions and recommendations? For the road, because a lot of people feel that the road safety, the VIO, actually went to the streets. We actually went to the streets, and we've been following this story up for a while. And everybody said negative things about the VIO. And now you said something about reorientation and maybe redefining their objectives. So what are your recommendations and your suggestions as a road expert? And since you have an NGO that works with them.
Before my recommendations, I'll say one or two things. One, if their operations are not redefined, they will have more challenges with more states.
So first they need to redefine.
They need to redefine their operations the way it will suit the Nigerian situation. Note, every country has its attitude. You need to assess there's a program we're doing now with NIBRI, Nigeria Building and Road Research Institute, to ascertain the attitude of Nigerians when it comes to the issue of road safety. First of all, you need to assess the attitude of your citizens. How do they react? What's their response? When it comes to when they drive, when they meet a road safety, a VIO person and all that, how do they react? What's the reaction of the VIO? What's the end point? Do they end up clashing? Do they agree? How do they pay their fines? Why are they being knocked down? So if you carry out this research, you now come up with a point, or now you can address the problem.
And that's what your agency...
That's what we are doing as part of the program we're handling now.
Okay. So what are your recommendations after you...
My recommendation is simple. It's just very simple. They need to reorientate and retrain and redefine their operational pattern within the FCT.
Yes.
That is the point of action. That's where we are right now. That's what they need to redefine. How do they redefine? You need to train and retrain and give them the normal orientation to conform with the traffic rules and regulations.
Yes.
I'm not saying they are not obeying the rules. For example, if the lights say go, you don't need to see anybody before you. And there's no way they can time their operations within the traffic light or around the traffic zones. Because I think the traffic light has 2 or 3 minutes to give directives to vehicles at the point. I think between 2, 3, 4 minutes.
Yes, about that.
About that, for every direction. So if you position us, even if when it's in red, and you are standing there, you will see obstruct traffic because immediately it can stay green in the next 30
and some cars are even actually going this way, and you are telling people to park here. It's a mess.
It's an obstruction.
Yes, it is.
So they need to move far from the traffic, and if they are to move far from the traffic, they need to introduce a barrier that will slow down vehicles for them. You get my point now? Where it will not obstruct traffic.
Yes.
And they should take note of emergencies.
But how would they even know there's an emergency when these are private cars? It could be a pregnant woman in a private car.
If there's an ambulance with an alarm.
What if it's a pregnant woman in a car, or somebody dying, a neighbor rushing a neighbor to do? And
you see, these are complex problems. These are complex problems that cannot be addressed in one day.
Yeah.
So it requires constant seminars, workshops with the public, interacting and all that. So that is what we need to solve this problem. Everybody has a role to play.
Yeah.
Indoor, I can't call it town hall meeting because there are a lot of town hall meetings that have been held, nothing came out of it and all that. So you can't gather people that way and get the best from them. So there have to be constant seminars, workshops, so that the public can relate with the people that are enforcing these laws. And
so we can appreciate the work of the VIO instead of saying it should be scrapped, because some people they should just go.
No, if they go now, they will set up something else.
Okay.
And if what they set up is not addressed, the problem remains.
Yes. Yes.
So it's better we redefine the operations within the FCT and then see how we can still carry them along as our brothers and sisters. Forget their uniform.
Yes.
It's still the same people.
And work together in peace.
Work together in peace.
Thank you so much. Wow, this has been a very insightful discussion, and I thank you so much for the recommendation of training and retraining. We can never overemphasize that. I've been talking to Prince Ache Julius Ogu, is the CEO, Road Accident Prevention Network Center here in the FCT, and also a road expert. This is Dateline Abuja. Stay tuned. I'll be right back.